Of the Equinox, Enochian Magick, Aleister Crowley, introduced by Lon Milo Duquette, which, I mean, I don't agree with all his conclusions and, actions, but he helps us understand Aleister Crowley. And sometimes he helps us understand things that Aleister Crowley didn't help us understand. Because Aleister Crowley was certainly a person who tried to experience a little bit of everything, tried to master his will in various circumstances, had some horrible things happen to him that he was trying to get over. He tried to, just like the Baha'i movement that I have been sharing a book from, and speaking of sharing the book, the PDFs of this book, just like everything available from everything Aleister Crowley ever wrote that is still available in some format. I don't think that anything's not public domain in one way or another. Old, you see these fronts. Aleister Crowley's books have that little bit changes, but has some very interesting things. And he wrote some moving works. He had some moving experiences that can perhaps open us to further and further levels of the same things. And he really upset people with the Golden Dawn releasing their thing. The conservative traditions aren't really necessary on any path, really. But the Thelemic and the Golden Dawn attributes are certainly interesting to consider, no matter how pure they are related to things. Back in the day, you used to have to look at archives of photographs. There wasn't the clearing done with the photographs, so some of the spots were difficult to read. Some letters, it's like reading ancient cuneiform tablets that have kind of, sometimes it's not so even with the letters, sometimes you get, but you can see from, Enochian has multiple systems. You don't have to do the magic that Aleister Crowley or any of the others did with it to realize its central groundwork that connects to various systems of belief and psychology, that you can work with it. For some people, it's very interesting language-wise. The Lezuvama texts that I get into, chants and such, I prefer Enochian. You might say, "Oh, it's your own dream language and stuff," but there's, it's not your typical glossolalia, and it's not your I guess mine isn't either, but now it's called Enochian. It was called the angelic language and the Adamic language and some things like that. The vision and the voice is path working. I think I'm going to have it as the 8th month of 1441 as sort of a backwards sort of order. Instead of 30 through 1, I'm going to go 30 each night. I'm going to have shared some of what's going on here. And it's interesting, the sort of biblical mythology, but it goes beyond the Bible, because remember, the Bible had sources that some of them were even bigger than the Bible itself. You can change your consciousness. You can figure out, you can have your own apocalypse, figuring out